that thing can jump scare you and you will end up dying of fear. You'll end up dying like, and you'll become like me, which is something you don't want to do. Hello, everyone who's come to this channel. I am the ghost. And sure, we'll go with that for an intro. Today, we're giving you a very spooky episode of Tear Up that I'm actually surprised I haven't done already. Because I thought I had done it already. But I guess I didn't. We are going to be ranking various spooky thriller horror games. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they are. That's what Wikipedia told me anyway. I'm not sure how I chose these ones, nor do I really care, so let's just check this out, shall we? And let's just see what these rankings are. We have God Tier, Terrifying, Jump Scare, Baby Could Play, and Cancel. And when I say baby could play, it's like, it's not so scary that a baby could freaking do it. But let's just see, because I have a very interesting selection of games here. First up, we have a game called Choo Choo Charles. I think I've seen this game I've seen a couple playthroughs of this game on YouTube. From my understanding, you're supposed to collect things, complete a main mission, complete various side missions, while also escaping a demonically possessed train. Sure, let's go with that. And from my understanding, Choo Choo Charles was a game that was made almost entirely by one person. It's either this game or I'm thinking of a game completely different. But Choo Choo Charles, I will say, from just the playthroughs that I've seen, this game is absolutely horrifying. Will I ever play it? Fuck no. I think the only way I could put a game up in God tier is if I find it horrifying, and I probably would play it or have already played it. So I think just for the terrifying nature alone, we're gonna go ahead and put Choo Choo Charles up in terrifying. Why? Because it's fucking terrifying. Ooh, brightness. Alright, next up we have the very popular game, Dead by Daylight. I don't know if it's exactly considered a co-op game. I mean, it could be considered that. Point is, I'm pretty sure there are 5 players. One player is a crazy demon ghost thingy that's trying to kill the 4 survivors that are in a strange location for some weird reason. But in order to escape, they need to turn on generators and then open the door so they can get the fuck out of there while keeping themselves and their friends alive. But if it's down to just one survivor, they are able to find the trap hatch door thingy. I don't know, it's weird. Dead by Daylight is a very scary game. It's also a very fun game. Would I play it? Yes, I would. Only one problem. I need friends to do that, which I don't really have. So due to technicality, we're just gonna have to go ahead and put it up in terrifying. This thing could use a bit more space, but oh well. Next up, we have one of the strongest running scary horror thriller game series of all time. First on this list is Five Nights at Freddy's. Ooh. You can't be a fan of horror games and not know what the fuck this is. There's so much lore behind it that you can't not know what the fuck this is. But long story short, they're animatronics haunted by the spirits of dead children who were, I guess, killed by the owner of the pizzeria. I don't know, I'm still a little iffy. I haven't seen the movie either, which I probably should do. Matthew Lillard is amazing. But Five Nights at Freddy's really needs no question. It is obviously a god tier game. You cannot argue me on that. The next game in that franchise, we have Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I guess is another Five Nights location, or it's the same location with remodeling. I don't exactly know what it is with the location, but there are 3 new toy animatronics There's also a little chubby dude named Balloon Boy. There's a foxy counterpart that's all mangled, called Mangled. And there's also the original withered animatronics. Point is, many more animatronics, far scarier. There's also a puppet that you gotta keep sleeping with a music box. Point is, there's much more you gotta look out for. I have not played this one yet. I've seen many a playthrough of this game. Would I play this game? Yes, I would, if I could just gather enough courage to play it. So I think we're gonna go ahead and put Five Nights at Freddy's 2 up here with Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I think it's along that similar level. Don't you? Next up in this franchise, we have Five Nights at Freddy's 3, introducing a brand new animatronic called Springtrap, a golden Bonnie kind of thing. And his body's made out of spring locks? Something like that. And all the other animatronics are now phantoms. I know there's Phantom Freddy, Chica, Foxy, Balloon Boy. There might be another one I'm forgetting. I don't know. You also have to reboot certain systems because they will go out because of the phantoms. And I will say, this one, I did not like it as much as I did the other ones because, I don't know, there's just something about it that I couldn't really appreciate. I think the only thing for me that's saving it from either of the lower tiers is the fact of the cool new character called Springtrap, which does add into a lot of the lore. A lot of the lore. With Springtrap being the only redeeming factor, I'm going to go ahead and put it up in Jump Scare. If I can get it up there. There we go. Jump Scare. Boo! Scared you, didn't I? And next, the final one of this series that we're going to include in this tier list, is Five Nights at Freddy's 4. This one is very different because you're not at a Freddy's Pizzeria chain. You are, for some reason, in a bedroom. And you have to close your bedroom drawers and check in your closet for some reason for the incredibly nightmarish version of the animatronics, which is fucking horrifying. At least Five Nights at Freddy's 3 still had me for a little bit of interest. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 just completely lost me. It just completely lost me there. But being part of the FNAF franchise, I can't completely negate its popularity. So while I may not like it, it does have the redeeming factor of being FNAF, so it's not going to go all the way down. It's going to be one step above. And a baby could play it. Which, I mean, they definitely can't, because they will have trauma and nightmares for the rest of their lives. The rest of their little miserable lives. I don't know where I'm going with that. Ooh, next up we have a somewhat older game called Lucius, where you play as, I believe, the 10-year-old child of a very wealthy family, and one by one you have to murder the members of the family and the staff because you're possessed by the demon Satan. What? I don't know. I haven't seen the game in a long time. I haven't played the game in a long time. Why am I saying that? I haven't played the game ever. Because it's fucking freaky! Demons! I believe the first person I've ever seen play this game was either PewDiePie or Jacksepticeye. And maybe one of them never even played it and I'm just completely misremembering. But I know I watched PewDiePie play it. It was very interesting. And it also had a sequel game. I don't know if it was a sequel game called Lucius 2. And it maybe even had a Lucius 3. I don't remember. Point is, if it was successful enough to have a sequel and keep my interest for so long, I don't know if I'm going to play it though. But because it's so terrifyingly scary, I am going to go ahead and put it up in terrifying. Spooky! Next up we have one that I really have no interest in ever playing. We have Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion, as the title may suggest, you play as Luigi and you hunt ghosts with your weird ghost-catching equipment straight out of fucking Ghostbusters. That's really all I know about the games. I know there's multiple, so it had to be successful, but the fact that it's Luigi and like Nintendo, which is notoriously unscary, it kinda takes it away from me. It takes away the horror factor. So while I do appreciate the concept, the fact of it being Nintendo negates the horror factor for me. Even though I haven't played it, I'm just being completely biased. So I'm sorry, Luigi's Mansion, but unfortunately, we must put you down and cancelled. You don't fit up to my qualifications. Next up, we have a game that I have played and do find incredibly horrifying. We have Phasmophobia, a game I played last spooky season, completely regret, mainly because of my choice in character. Why the fuck did I go with him? I couldn't even do his goddamn voice. If you've seen the last spooky season, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But in Phasmophobia, you play as a ghost hunter. You need to go into someone's house that they claim is haunted by a ghost of, I don't know, friend, loved one, relative, something or other like that. And you just need to identify what kind of ghost it is without being fucking murdered. And let me just say, it's incredibly difficult to do. I will say though, because I have done this game, and that I'm still alive and have some of my sanity left, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it up in God tier. Because if it was scary enough for me to get scared by it, which is not that hard to do. Next up, we have the game that popularized Huggy Wuggy. We have Poppy Playtime, and I can't do that face. Just no to that face. I've never played Poppy Playtime. I've never even heard of Poppy Playtime. Until H2O Delirious just wouldn't stop fucking talking about him. I will say the only thing I know about this game is that Huggy Wuggy is a very terrifying character and you have to run the fuck away from him. Other than that, I know nothing about this game. Fucking nada. But with a popular character like Huggy Wuggy, which has far more frightening factor than Luigi, I think we're gonna go ahead and put Poppy Playtime, we'll put it up in jump scare. Why? Because that thing can jump scare you and you will end up dying of fear. You'll end up dying like, and you'll become like me, which is something you don't want to do. I may not have the title of this next game completely correct, but next up we have Slender Man, which is probably not what it says. Slender Man, I know, is the villain, the spooky, spectral, supernatural being that you're trying to get away from. However, that's the only way I will ever refer to these games. Never Slender and then subtitle. It will always just be Slender Man. Slender Man, Slender Man, all the children try to run. Slender Man, to him it's part of the fun. Slender Man. Okay, enough of that. Everyone knows Slender Man. There's been a fucking movie or two about him. I'm never going to play it because I don't like the dark like that. So I think we're going to go ahead and put it one step below in terrifying. Why? Because it is. Next up, we have one of my favorite games, and I'm not sure why Wikipedia considered it a scary horror thriller game. As I say that, I take that all back. I can completely understand why it's considered that. We have Telltale Walking Dead, following the story of Lee Everett and his little friend Clementine. I probably shouldn't refer to her like that. But they need to survive a zombie apocalypse by finding friends who can help them and murdering the ones who won't. And your choices will completely determine their fates, whether they live or die. Whether they thrive or starve. You get the picture. And this has had numerous sequel games. And I actually believe I have played this game on live stream a number of summers ago. But because I have played it, we are going to give it its rightful spot. In God tier, if I can get myself up there. There we go. It's gotta be God tier, because it's a God tier kind of game. Speaking of which, this game. We literally just started playing this game on the gaming channel about a week and a day ago, I think, in reference to when this video is coming out. That sounds about right. Until Dawn! But no. Not just any Until Dawn. It's the Until Dawn PS5 remake, which is far more horrifying than the original that came out nearly a decade ago. How long have I been this decrepit? Until Dawn, kind of like The Walking Dead, you help control the fates of 8 friends who are staying in a lodge in the mountains. But strangers and monsters and vicious animals may deter their fates to death, like me. So you gotta do everything you can to make sure that doesn't happen. But being as horrifying as this is, and actually just now remembering that this was the game that I played during the very first spooky season 4 years ago. I've been doing spooky season for 5 years now, counting this one, and the original, and the 3 in between. That's 5. We played Until Dawn, we were horrified, we had a very shitty character. This is somehow a much better character, and I'm just in front of a green screen. Yeah, did you actually think I was all ghost-like? But with Until Dawn being as goddamn terrifying as it is, there's only one spot that it can go. We must bring it up to God tier, because it's absolutely terrifying. And I do believe this is the best way that this list can come out. I appreciate you staying with me for this long. None of you are probably still here. If you are, bless you. But until next time, I have been the Ghost. This has been Tier Up Ranking horror, scary, thriller game sort of things, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Bye now.